Good afternoon. It's 4 o'clock. I'm going to call today's Plan Commission to order. Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You all would have all received the minutes from our September 9th meeting. I'd like to entertain a motion to approve those.
So moved. Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Thank you. Mark, first item of business, item A, Farms at Hickory Bend drainage plan approval.
Yes, we have a drainage approval for the Farms at Hickory Bend, and that is the wedding venue location out on State Road 32. It does have a temporary address of 10276 East State Road 32. And it has been reviewed by our reviewer, Banning Engineering, and the review is included in revisions to the comments that have been submitted, and they are recommending approval of the project that is contingent on waivers that have been requested. Also in your packet is the waiver request. And there are 5 waivers. So we'll need to approve waivers along with this drainage plan. The waivers are based on some requirements of the ordinance that I'll go through now. Number 1 is the minimum, minimum wet area pond size. We require half an acre of any wet pond to be the bottom to be wet, and their pond was sized with 0.46 acres. So that is one waiver. Waiver number 2 is 8-foot depth over 50% of wet area, and it does not meet that either. The weir freeboard, which is the relief at the top, the weir freeboard is a release point over the top of the drainage area. And the rule requires that the spillway elevation shall be 1 foot higher than the peak water elevation of the 100-year storm event. The required 1 foot of freeboard is there's only about a half a foot between the weir elevation and the top of bank, so they're asking for a waiver on that. Number 4 is the safety ramp. You know, our code requires a safety ramp for any retention pond. And then the 5th is, we've had this one before, the chain link fence requirement. They're asking for waiver. Instead of chain link fence around the pond, they would like to put wood bollards between the parking area and the pond. Again, it has been approved as far as our review goes from our engineer, but with these waivers.
Does the board have any additional questions for Mark? Being none, I'd like to request a motion to approve the drainage plan first, and then I'll have a motion to approve the waivers.
You can do them all together.
Okay, we can do them all together. So, I will make a motion to approve the drainage plan and the waivers for Farms at Hickory Bend.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Thank you. Mark, item B. Oh.
Yeah, your second item here is of the same development project. And this is your development plan review, 2025-3. Again, the petitioner is the Farms at Hickory Bend. The location is again 10276 East State Road 32. And the type of case is the development plan review, and the standard is ministerial. The location is on State Road 32, half a mile east of 975 East on State Road 32. The subject site is an 8-acre site. The property currently is ag row crop, and at 8 acres in total. And it was zoned by the Plan Commission and the Commissioners RZ 2024-3. The zoning is, the proposed property is commercial. To the north, or agricultural to the west, is mostly ag. To the south is ag and residential, and to the east is ag and residential. The action requested is a request for the approval of the development plan. The staff review on ordinances, development plan review meets the standards of the zoning ordinance. There is a floodplain area on the property which the development will not encroach. Stormwater drainage, again, that drainage plan was here on your agenda today, and it is now approved by the Plan Commission. And street design, not evaluated by Montgomery County street standards because it is not a Montgomery County street and its access is off a state road. It will have on-site septic and on-site water. And all other applicable plans, the proposed is compliant with associated recommendations of Montgomery County. So staff does recommend approval of the plan review DPR 2025-3.
Thank you, Mark. Does the board have any additional questions? Does the petitioner have anything to add? Okay, thank you. It's at this time at 4:06. I'll open the public hearing for any public comment. Being none, the hearing's closed at 4:06. So, I'd like a motion to approve the Farms at Hickory Bend Development Plan Review. Okay, we have a motion.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign.
I have a question. When we approved that with limitations as only as an event center, didn't we? The rezone.
Yeah, what you're making a decision about today is just simply the development plan itself, the site plan you see ahead of you. Any conditions that you impose during the rezoning process remain.
Item C, Mark.
And this should be familiar. We have RZ 2025-4. The petitioner is DG Partner LLC. The owner still is Byron Fugate because, as you know, we have a subdivision on this property that's ready for final plat. The location is the 11,000 block of US 231. And the type of case is rezoned from ag to commercial, and your standard is discretionary. Today, you'll conduct a public hearing to consider a rezone from ag to commercial. The parcel is located on the northeast corner of US 231 and 1100 North. Again, the parcel is in the subdivision process right now, which is a 2.5 acre site. The parcel is currently used as row crop agricultural, and the adjacent properties are agricultural property and low density residential adjacent to the property. This is situated just outside the town limits of Linden, which on the screen, this is 1100 North, and this is 231. The proposed purpose for the rezone of the property is for a Dollar General store. Access to the property is designed to be accessed from 1100 North. The planned access meets the requirements for zoning for separation. The location of the entrance is around 120 to 130 feet from the intersection with the traffic on 231, and a short distance to the entrance. Staff does recommend traffic study of the intersection of 231 and 1100 North. Staff also would recommend paving of 1100 North in the frontage of the property. The property does not have any special flood hazard area, but it does, however, have a gas transmission line that runs approximately 80 feet east of US 231, running parallel to 231. The proposed use will be connected to the town of Linden utilities for sewer and water. And the other ordinances can be achieved such as the address numbering system. The petition, along with the Plan Commission recommendation, would be forwarded to the Montgomery County Commissioners for final decision on zoning classification. Table A use table requires convenience stores to be zoned commercial. Commercial bulk standards include landscaping, lighting, parking, and signage, and the proposed use can meet the bulk standard requirements for lot size and frontage and setbacks. You also have your factors to be considered, all 5. Staff recommends the Plan Commission send a favorable recommendation to the Commissioners with one or all of the following conditions. That would be up to the Plan Commission. A traffic study, paving of 1100 North, rezone application to convenience store only, no other commercial uses allowed, and staff does recommend possibly using hours of operation from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m.
Does your recommendation of paving 1100, is that just to the site of just to the entrance?
The frontage, which is more than to the entrance, but again, that's something, you know, the traffic study or paving of 1100, that'd be up to your discretion on which you would want to make that condition. I'm putting them out there as possibilities. The traffic study is warranted. If you think of 231 and then the amount of traffic on 1100 going to the west, there's no turning. I guess there is a blister there at 1100 on northbound at 1100, but for the purposes of this, we would like to know what NDOT would like to see at that location, as well as what our highway would like to see. And I know after talking to the highway director that paving at least to the entrance would be a big help there. So, you know, I would say paving the frontage of that would make sense, knock down dust and things like that. So those are just some recommendations from staff on possible conditions that could be put on the property.
Thank you.
The entire 1100 like mile stretch, then that falls on the county's responsibility and not just the developers.
Well, at this point, NDOT's not going to concern themselves with 1100. They might say the approach needs to be paved. I have seen that in some of their traffic studies. NDOT's going to look at 231 and any decel lanes that might be needed in that area.
So it's an NDOT traffic study, not a county?
Yes.
Okay.
The study is more for the intersection of 231 and 1100 North.
But the county absorbs the cost of the paving? Nope.
No.
NDOT does?
No, we're not. No, it'd be the developer.
Dollar didn't? Good, okay.
Investor engineers, they are here.
Any other questions amongst the board?
I wondered where the gas line is. You mentioned there was a gas transmission line, and I wondered if that was that green line or...
It is this dashed blue or green line right here. And this is for reference. I mean, we don't know the exact location of that. Obviously, that would be done during development. And there is setback to that.
Does the petitioner have anything to add to this?
At this point,
Okay. Thank you. So at 4:14, we're going to open the public hearing for rezone from ag to commercial. Public hearing's closed at 4:14. We have a motion from the board to rezone the site from agriculture to commercial.
I move that we approve the request to change the,
Thank you. We have a motion. We have a second. Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Thank you. Steve Canfield. Moving on to item D, SD 2025-9 Drainage Plan Approval Request.
Yes, I had drainage on the agenda for, for this development site, as well as the final plat. This is the drainage for that property, and we just received comments last week on the drainage, and they do have 5 different comments to address, so I am not ready to approve that with the Plan Commission yet until they do address these comments and we get an approval letter from our reviewing engineer. But I did have it on there thinking that we would have that. Oh, yes, we could do that. We could continue that drainage approval to the next meeting.
Okay, I move that we continue to the next meeting. I don't have the number in front of me.
SD 2025-9
Yes.
Drainage Plan approved. So Steve's made that motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you. Item E, SD 2025-9, the public hearing for the Fugate subdivision final plot.
So again, the same development here as we had in the rezone and the drainage, and this is for final plat approval. The applicant is the Byron Fugate DG Partners LLC, and the owner is Byron Fugate. Property location is 11,000 block of US 231. Again, your land use and zoning is agricultural row crop. Existing zoning is ag, and the property is part of a 68-acre parcel. The petitioner does request final plat approval of the Fugate subdivision plat, and the proposed plat splits one parcel of 2.524 for a development site. The road system, the property does access at 1100 North. And the land use ordinances, the zoning ordinance, the proposed meets the general requirements of the zoning ordinance. Specifically, it addresses the type of development. Plan Commission could ask for commitments through the rezone, which we've already done, and the north side of 1100 North, in the developable area of 1100 North, it does have a 30-foot right-of-way. Special flood hazard area isn't located on the property, no wetlands delineated. The drainage, the stormwater drainage is in review right now. We should have that within the next week or so, I would say. Based on this information, the plat has not changed since preliminary. Staff does recommend either giving approval once the drainage approval has been obtained. So staff does recommend giving final plat approval, but not signing the plat until drainage approval has been obtained.
I have a question on the property location. Is it actually 11,000 or 1,100? 11,000. Okay. It's 1,100 north. All right, I just clarified. Gotcha. Thank you.
Does the board have any other questions?
So how does that motion do with the condition?
What Marc is suggesting is that you make the approval of the final plat subject to drainage approval. Those words would be enough, don't you think, Marc?
Does the petitioner have anything to add on this? Okay, thank you. Okay, at 4:20, we're going to open the public hearing. At 4:20, public hearing's closed. So I'd like to look for, do we have a motion to approve Fugit subdivision plat contingent on the,
I move to approve subject on the drainage approval.
thank you, Tricia. I'll second that. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Last item of business, SD 2021-1, the public hearing for the Pine Hill subdivision, final plat.
So this case is SD 2021-1, and this is to consider the final plat approval of the Pine Hill subdivision. The applicant is Ratcliffe Homes. The property location is 3.6 miles south of south on US 231. The parcel is east of 231, just north of Airport Road, which is 400 south. And the existing land use is ag and residential, and the neighboring properties are ag and residential. We first heard this in late 2021, and the petitioner decided, we gave secondary plat approval, and so the petitioner decided to put the infrastructure in before asking for final plat approval. So we're here today for final plat approval of this 11-lot subdivision. The plat has not changed, but the plat does have delineations of easement on it that it did not have at preliminary. But these easements are because there are 3 single-family dwelling plots that did exist prior to this subdivision. And they had a private entrance, as you can see, this gravel road. And the one entrance here of Pine Hills Court goes back to the cul-de-sac. That has all been installed at this point. And with the drainage already installed as well. So this subdivision is ready. Infrastructure is in. So like I said, the only changes to this are the easements delineated to the back part of the property that give access to these 3 homes to the Pine Hills Court. And based on the information, staff does recommend approval and signing of the final plat.
How many homes are supposed to be here? Oh, 'cause I thought he said 11. Okay. Because there's 12.
Yeah, plat 1 is missing.
Have a house load?
It will have a house on it. It will have a house.
Oh,
Ah, okay.
The whole lot is lot number 1.
Ah,
does the board have any additional questions? Going to open the public hearing at 4:24.
Commissioner, I have a question for the pond.
Yes.
Since this is subdivision and we do have a pond, are we turning that pond into a blueprint?
Yeah, the board took jurisdiction of that in 2022, and from my understanding, it included the pond, the pipes, and the lead-out swales that were part of the drainage plan.
And at what point does it get turned over as a legal permit? Because if everything is approved, we can start applying for permits to build. Is it after the completion of the build, or as soon as the first house goes in, it becomes
I mean, as far as my understanding, it is a regulated drain now, so there's no additional step that requires that turnover. Once we establish it, it's our baby at that point.
Any additional questions or comment? Public hearing is now closed at 4:25. We have a motion on the Pine Hill subdivision to approve.
I make a motion to approve.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Any other business?
What's our next meeting gonna be?
Yes, our next meeting is on November 11th. That is a holiday. So we have several meetings that fell on that, and everyone has moved their meetings. We'll need to move our meeting either to Monday, the 10th, or Thursday, the 13th is available, or the following Tuesday, which is the 18th, to accommodate the holiday.
The 10th would work for me. How does that affect? You're out of town that whole week? Okay. Steve?
It's good for me.
10th. Tom, Tricia? Tom, you good? So the 10th? At 4 o'clock? I make a motion to have our next Plan Commission meeting on November 10th at 4 p.m.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. So, okay. Thank you, everybody. Meeting's now adjourned.